villages. Let's discuss the overall situation, the continuing situation, particularly in northern Iraq. We're joined from Oxford by Alison Baily, who runs the Middle East programme at the international think tank Oxford Analytica. A very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
There appears in the last couple of days to have been something of a stalemate, but clearly still a very difficult situation, still uncertainty around oil refineries. Where do you think this will go in the coming days?
Well, I think the coming days are really very crucial, and both sides, the coalition of Sunni militants that is headed by ISIS and also the Shia government and their militia allies, are really now assessing next steps as the fighting draws very close to the capital. The Shia government has very much at stake in the capital. It has the resources to defend the capital because of the large Shia population, the large presence of militias there, in a way that it couldn't really defend the northwest and Mosul. So I think we'll now see whether, on one side, whether ISIS and the Sunni militants decide to go for broke and try and threaten the Shia government's hold on Baghdad, and also then whether sort of how far the Shia government decides to go in trying to make some kind of counter-offensive to claim back some kind of control over the western Sunni provinces.
And still, it appears there is no appetite in the West. Barack Obama, David Cameron still saying we are not going to get involved militarily in terms of hardware. There might be a few people on the ground, but they're not, at this stage, it sounds, prepared to go any further than that. And what does that mean inside Iraq, given that the Iraqi government, of course, is asking for an awful lot more?
Well, the US and Western allies do have some limited leverage over the Iraqi government in terms of military hardware supplies and training, and also obviously the promise of airstrikes. But actually, since the withdrawal in 2011, really the influence that the United States has over the Iraqi government and the situation on the ground has really decreased quite significantly. So actually what this does is really leave the door open to the Shia government's key foreign ally, Iran, which has very extensive networks of intelligence assets and allies in the political establishment. It's the one that can really have the most influence over what Maliki does next.
Yes, and therefore we are talking about Iran becoming hugely strengthened in that region, almost whether the West likes it or not. It almost has no other option.
Well, we are at a crucial time now where the United States and Iran have made a historic interim agreement over the nuclear deal. So relations are warming there, and there is more opportunity for the United States and Iran to improve their relations in stabilising Iraq. However, there are still many tensions, and also a lot of mutual distrust within both Tehran and Washington over cooperation. So I'm not sure we can depend on that to actually resolve this issue.
All right, we will speak again, I'm sure, in the coming weeks. Thank you very much for now. Alison Baily at the Oxford Analytica think tank. And a reminder, there's more background information on the BBC News website, of course, bbc.co.uk/news. Lots of articles from correspondents across the region, and lots of maps and